Hello everyone, and welcome. This video is not just a story, it's also a tool to help you improve your English listening skills. By listening carefully to this story, you'll practice understanding natural English, improve your vocabulary, and train your ears to follow along. Whether you're dreaming big or just working on your English, this is the perfect place for you. Now, sit back and listen closely because what you're about to hear could change your life. Today, I want to tell you an incredible story about how chasing my dream pushed me through struggles, tests, and sacrifices, and eventually led me to success. If you dream of becoming a professional athlete, a great artist, an inventor, or anything extraordinary, you need resilience, dedication, and self-belief. Remember, there's no easy shortcut to success, but believe me, the hard work is worth it, and I'm here to prove that to you. If you quit too early, you might miss the incredible opportunities that could shape your future. Think about it. The podiums, the trophies, the sense of pride that comes from knowing you left everything out there. These are the moments that make all the struggles feel small. But don't wait for them to come to you. Start chasing your dream today. If I can do it, you can too. My name is Sophia, and I'm from Kenya. I grew up in a small village where the roads were dusty, the fields endless, and life was simple. My parents worked tirelessly to provide for us. My father, a farmer. My mother, a hard-working laborer. We didn't have much, but we had enough to get by. From a young age, I loved running. Not because I thought it would change my life, but because it made me feel alive, free, as if all my worries disappeared when I ran. I remember vividly the first time. I dreamed of becoming a professional runner. I was about 12 and watched a local marathon in the city. The athletes sprinted across the finish line, their faces full of purpose, and the crowd roared. It was magical. I didn't know how, but I wanted to feel what they felt. I wanted to run for a living. But back then, dreaming felt almost selfish. We didn't even own a TV. Running shoes were a luxury we couldn't afford. My life was tied to reality, and my dream couldn't be further from it. Yet, I ran anyway. Every morning before the sun rose, I'd take to the dirt roads, often barefoot, because we didn't have extra money for proper shoes. I would time myself with an old, rusty stopwatch that barely worked. Every day, I sprinted between the fields, imagining myself in a race with thousands of people cheering. I believed in that dream, even when it seemed impossible. When I was 15, I got my first shot at a district competition. It was a small race, but for me, it felt like the Olympics. There were no coaches, no plans, just raw determination. I didn't win the race. I came in second. For most, that might have been a triumph. But for me, standing on that stage, shaking hands with the winner, I couldn't shake the feeling that I could have done better. Second will never be enough, I told myself that day. I went home and cried, but those tears woke something inside me. That day, I made a promise. I would never settle for second again. From that point onward, life became harder. My father, seeing my passion, sold one of our cows to buy me my first pair of running shoes. "Sophia," he told me, "this is all we can give you. Use it wisely." Those words were heavy. They carried hope, belief, and a deep responsibility. I couldn't fail. I owed it to my family to succeed. I started training more seriously. I ran every day, rain or shine. On many days, I was exhausted. My legs burned. My lungs ached. Still, I'd push through, fueled by the same dream I'd had since I was a child. I added sprints, longer runs, and uphill courses to my routine. It wasn't just about running anymore. It was about becoming something more, someone unstoppable. At 18, I got a shot at a regional tournament. Winning here meant access to professional training programs. The other athletes seemed like professionals already. They had coaches, fancy gear, and families cheering them on. I had my scrappy shoes, cheap shorts, and a heart full of fire. When I overheard someone's whispered comment, "Who's the kid?" "She won't last." I swallowed the insult and turned it into fuel. I ran my heart out that day, crossing the finish line first. That victory marked the beginning of my true athletic career. But that win wasn't the end of my struggles. It was the start of a new chapter filled with grueling challenges. The professional training program was ruthless. I trained 7 hours a day and slept only a few hours at night, because I was also juggling my studies. Injuries became a regular part of my life. My blistered feet often bled, but I wrapped them up and carried on. I missed my family. They couldn't afford to visit me, but I carried their words with me wherever I went. One of the hardest moments came during a national qualifier race. I was in peak form, but halfway through, pain shot up my leg. I finished the race, but I didn't qualify. That failure haunted me. I sat alone in my bunk that night, questioning everything. Am I even good enough? Should I give up? But then I pictured my father handing me those shoes and the sacrifices my family had made. Giving up wasn't an option. I worked harder than I thought possible. I watched videos, analyzed my form, and shadowed their methods. Slowly I improved. One day, I qualified for my first international marathon. The weight of that moment was heavy. I wasn't just running for myself anymore. I was representing my country. On race day, my heart pounded as I lined up next to the world's best. Doubts filled my mind, but as the starter gun fired, I focused. The pain came quickly, but each step reminded me of how far I'd already come. I crossed the finish line in 5th place, exhausted and exhilarated. That race earned me my first sponsorship, validating all the sacrifices. Today, I am a professional marathon runner. I've stood on podiums, traveled the globe, and achieved things the girl from my village could only dream of. My family no longer struggles financially. I'm building a school in my village to give kids the chance to dream big and achieve more. Here's my message for you. Never limit yourself. Start small, but start today. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will be messy, exhausting, and filled with moments of doubt. But when you achieve that dream, the satisfaction will be unmatched. If this story inspired you, subscribe to my English Fluency Teacher channel so you can keep practicing your English while staying motivated. Together, we'll chase your dreams, improve your language skills, and make progress every single day. Remember, the race toward your goal begins with one step. Now, go make it count. It's time to run your race. Now, we're diving into some advanced vocabulary inspired by Sophia's incredible story. Stick around for clear explanations and example sentences to help these words stick in your mind. All right, let's get started. The first word is resilience. Resilience means the ability to recover quickly from challenges or setbacks. It's all about bouncing back stronger than before. For example, Sophia's resilience helped her overcome countless obstacles to achieve her dream of becoming a professional runner. Next, we have determination. This means having firmness of purpose or being resolute. Here's an example sentence. Her determination to succeed pushed her to train harder every day, no matter the conditions. The third word is sacrifice. It means giving up something important for a greater purpose. For example, Sophia's father made a great sacrifice by selling their cow to buy her first pair of running shoes. Now, here's a vibrant word for you, vividly. This means producing strong, clear, and detailed images in your mind. For example, Sophia vividly remembered the day she first dreamed of becoming a professional runner while watching a local marathon. Next word is perseverance. It means persistent effort, even when things get tough. Here's an example sentence. Sophia's perseverance allowed her to transform failure into opportunity. Another fun word is exhilarated. It means feeling extremely happy or energetic. For example, crossing the finish line in her first marathon left Sophia exhilarated and proud. The next word is ruthless. It means showing no pity or mercy. For example, the training program was so ruthless that many athletes quit within the first week. Close cousin to our last word, relentless, means unyielding or constant in effort or intensity. For example, Sophia's relentless training was key to her eventual success as a professional athlete. Next is validate. To validate means to confirm or prove the value of something. An example sentence would be, winning her first international race validated all the sacrifices she had made over the years. Here's a common but important word in Sophia's story, qualify. It means meeting necessary standards for something. For example, Sophia worked tirelessly to qualify for the international marathon. Now we have exhausted, which means extremely tired or drained of strength. For example, Sophia felt exhausted after crossing the finish line, but exhilarated by her accomplishment. Another important word is adversity. Adversity means challenges or difficulties that you face in life. For instance, overcoming adversity defined Sophia's path to becoming a top athlete. Here's a visual one for you, blistered. This means having painful swellings on the skin, often from friction or burns. For example, Sophia continued training despite her blistered feet, showing unrelenting perseverance. The next word is unmatched, which means better than anything else or unparalleled. For instance, the satisfaction of achieving her dreams was unmatched by any obstacle she had faced. Finally, we have fueled, which means to give energy or motivation to someone or something. An example would be insults and doubts from others